everybody. My name's Larry Cordle, and we're coming to you from the original old Lawrence County, Kentucky jail. Built in 1822, I believe they said. And it's inside the Fred M. Vinson Museum and Welcoming Center in Louisa, Kentucky. And some of you might know, some of you might not. 10 or 12 years ago, I wrote this song about Pud Marcum. James H. Pud Marcum. He was from down here on Cat someplace. And there's a couple of versions of the story. Fisher Marcum, who was the man he murdered, was either his uncle or his cousin. The clarity of that, I don't think anybody knows for sure. It's too far lost in time. As a basis of the song, I used my grandfather's old story that he told me many times when I was a kid, that he always told me that the grass wouldn't grow back here on the town hill where they hung Pud. He made it sound like, both my grandfathers actually told me the same story, that the grass wouldn't grow back on Town Hill there where they built the scaffold, the gallows, because they said they never really proved him innocent. But if you read the story, the historical fact, I think, is what I would say. He actually confessed to the murder in the cell. Now, what's interesting about this is I'm sitting in the place that he spent his last night here on this earth, inside the very cell that he would have been in 136 years ago today, because this is the 28th of April of 2023, and tomorrow, April 29th, 2023, would have been his last day on this earth, period, the day they hung him. So, but anyway, this is my take on a song I wrote called Pud Marcum's Hangin'. They say the grass won't grow where they built the gallows down in Lawrence County. Up on Town Hill, they hung poor Pud Marcum for the crime of murder. Back then they called it justice, but the grass ain't growing still. Pud's Uncle Fisher Marcum, he was feared and hated, and many in the county wanted him dead. A bullet fired from ambush sent him to the graveyard, but not before he said, Pud shot me from his dying bed. They say the grass won't grow where they built the gallows down in Lawrence County. Up on Town Hill, they hung poor Pud Marcum for the crime of murder. Back then they called it justice, but the grass ain't growing still. They tracked him through the snow to the place where he was hiding. A lawman said, throw up your hands, you're under arrest. In the jailhouse he found Jesus, but the jury found him guilty and sentenced him to hang till he was dead, dead, dead. They say the grass won't grow where they built the gallows down in Lawrence County. Up on Town Hill, they hung poor Pud Marcum for the crime of murder. Back then they called it justice, but the grass ain't growing still. Now early in the morning, on the 29th of April, the sheriff came and led old Pud away. He had a piece about him as he neared the scaffold, and he rode his own coffin up the hill to meet his fate. Now my papa told me the great big crowd was gathered to see him meet his maker for taking Fisher's life. They say he told the young folks, let this be a warning, and left this world a-singing, dark is the night. They say the grass won't grow where they built the gallows down in Lawrence County. Up on Town Hill, they hung poor Pud Marcum for the crime of murder. Back then then they call it justice, but the grass ain't growing still.